Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Neecee Lexy. In today's episode, I have the very, very lovely Adjoa with us here today. She is the one and only, the CEO and founder of Cosmetic, that is Exceptional Makeup and Beauty, based in Australia. And I'm super excited. She was with us about 2 years ago when we were doing a self-made entrepreneurs feature in our blog. And today, I'm also excited to have her back after 2 years to just kind of, catch up with her to see where she is with the business and everything. And also she's been doing her makeup cosmetic beauty for the past 8 years, as well as she have some exciting news that she'll be sharing with us here today. It is a midnight here in Toronto and an afternoon in Australia. I am super happy to have you welcome us today. She's a Ghanaian born and a New Zealand raised, but also now lives in Australia. Welcome back, Miss Adjoa. How you doing?
Hi. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you all. Oh God, it feels like everyone is here. I was like, hey, hi. So, hey, thank you so much for having me. Honestly, like you said, it's been that long. Gosh, I actually lost count. I was like, what? It's been 2 years. Are you insane? Oh my God. But you know what? It's so good to be here and to finally kind of have this kind of interaction with you. Yeah, so as Neecee said, my name is Adjoa. I'm born in Ghana. Adjoa meaning Monday born, for those that are wondering. So now, yeah. So look, honestly, I don't even know where to begin. This has been one of the most exciting, joyous kind of drive that I've been going on for 8 years now, and it's crazy. It's crazy in such a way that it's something that actually felt right for me to do. It's something that felt as though I needed to give the rest of the world to be able to help me share the excitement that I feel within me each time that the name makeup is said, or each time that I do makeup on people, each time that I mention cosmetics. I'm like, it's a bit like an electric thing that goes right. You know the experience where you like see makeup and you're like, oh my God, this is actually for me. This is made for me. So I'm all about makeup that's made for me. But then it goes to explain that makeup that's made for you because you are me. You know what I mean? So it's about finding the right shade. It's about finding the right ways on applying beauty that brings a more beautiful version of yourself, if that makes sense. So that's where I come in. I'm like, oh my God, like I'll share my experience as time goes on, like, as we're talking, that the experience as to why I started makeup in the first place. But yeah, I'm really excited to be doing this. I'm excited that I'm able to kind of share it with the rest of the world. And I just pray and hope that eventually a lot more of the world will get to hear about what I do. We get to share the excitement that I feel when I'm doing makeup and talking about makeup and actually promoting makeup itself, as in the brand that I've created based on exceptional makeup. Meaning makeup that's just beyond, makeup that's undescribable, makeup that fits like a glove, makeup that's just made for you, that beautifies you, that and in the midst of all that, just accentuate all the beauty that you've got. And it's not makeup made for people of color only. It's to let every woman know that you're beautiful and that there is makeup, there is skills and techniques that you can actually use and do to bring out that beauty that you've got within you. And it's not to say that you're not beautiful, but a more beautified version of you. And for you to also have the skill to be able to create that on yourself. I mean, makeup is art, right? But if you can learn to do it properly to enhance the beauty that you've got, oh my, that's it. That's it. And that's where we come in. We come in with the skills that we've got to share. Yeah.
Yes, that's incredible. I actually love the fact that it's not that makeup just to kind of redefine your beauty, but it's also to enhance what you already got. I love that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. That's amazing. So, being a CEO and a founder of Cosmetic, can you tell us how did you come about the whole name and the brand? Because I know it's exceptional, but also XM. Tell us the reason behind the name and the story behind it.
Oh my gosh. Now you got me started. I'm feeling the sensation all over again. It's happening. It's happening. It's almost like I'm living it right here and now. All right. So it all began in 2011. It was my wedding day, actually. It was my wedding day. And I didn't know anything about makeup. I knew zit about makeup. Anything that went up the face, I could happily just have it slap on and I'm good to go. So I had someone whom I didn't actually know, but I heard that they did makeup, and I searched them up and I kind of saw that they did makeup and they did it really well. Unfortunately, I'm like, I didn't see my complexion makeup done in there, but I'm like, if this person has skill to transform someone's face, I'm going to trust them to transform my face, and it's all good. Let's just do this. So I had him, it was a he actually, and you know, he had done amazing work. So I had him start on my face, and I'm like, I look good. You know, my brows were as thin that they weren't as thick as this. I'm like, I look good, you know. And mind you, that time I had no idea. So I'm like, okay, it's all done. And fast forward, and I just to make the story a little bit shorter, we got to a point where we got to the venue. I was meant to be walking down the aisle, and my husband to be kind of stopped and like, he kind of like looked to the side like this, and I'm like, dude, why is he looking at me like that? And of course, that made me so nervous. I'm like, is he going to say no, back off? Is he going to say, let's keep going on this? I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm nervous. I'm super nervous. You know how when you get married, you're nervous anyway. And then you've got the one that you're about to marry staring at you like that, and not in a way that's pleasant, that he's ready to kind of receive. And I'm like, what is this? Like, is he having cold feet? And he's like, what happened to your face? And I'm like, what do you mean what happened to my face? I had makeup done. It's like, doesn't it look good? And he's like, you're better off actually not having had any makeup done. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And as I was walking down, like after we said I do and everything else, as I was walking up, we were like, oh yeah, you look good. Like, the thing of someone saying you look good, but you're like, you can tell like, it's like, oh no, I'm actually, no, I don't think you look that good, but you know, it's a celebrating moment. So let's just say you look good. So it went on, and one of my friends is like, girl, I don't think the makeup that was done on your face looks that nice. And I'm like, yeah, I look good. I know, I've been told I look good. Okay, so I'll accept that. So what happened in the end, I waited for the pictures to come, and oh my God, reality hit. I looked like a shadow, you know, it's almost like ashy. It is ashy. That's the description I'll use for it now.
Yeah.
But it was almost like a shadow on my face with a bright light shining to it. Everything was just out of place. And that was when I said to myself, oh my God, this is a special moment. It didn't go as planned for me, but this is the point where I can actually give back to other people who are going to be experiencing this moment that I can go back and take back. So that's where I started. And I'm like, yo, I need to do something. I need help. Like, I knew that, you know, a lot of the time when you're a woman of color, it's hard to match your skin because honestly, our colors are a bit different underneath, and it's hard. It's hard. It doesn't matter what skills you have. It can be a bit tricky. And it made it tricky then because there wasn't a lot of foundations that was made for our type of skin that was available for that deeper complexion. And I was like, oh my God, like, what can I actually do? And that's when I started experimenting. I went to school to learn how to do makeup. I started experimenting on everyone that I could possibly experiment on, even before I actually went to school. And I was like, let me just do this. I know I can do this. If I kind of use the essence of how it made me feel, the pain that I felt, knowing that I can't even hang my wedding photo even right up to today. It's like pulling the tooth out of a hippo's mouth, if you can put it that way. I was like, I can't hang this, but if I can give that experience to someone who can hang it happily, that will mean a lot, because it just means I've changed somebody's life. And it meant so much that I felt like each time that I do makeup on anybody, whether it's light, dark, medium, fair, it almost feels like it's me reliving that experience again. It feels so real. And that's where the joy and the passion comes in when someone is sitting in my chair. And that's where the joy and passion comes in, because I want to be able to do something better than it was done for me. And I know that if I'm happy with it, that person is also going to be happy with it, because I'm looking for nothing less than exceptional, nothing less than something that looks amazing, that will photograph great, that will leave the skin looking flawless, that will accentuate the beauty that that person has, which I never got. So that's where I'm at. And I'm like, oh my God, like talking about it right now, it feels like I've got goosebumps all over me. Like, it feels like I'm cold, like goosebumps everywhere. It's exciting, you know? And that's where the XM Cosmetics also came from. Each time that I did makeup, the description that was given to it was exceptional. I'm like, hang on, exceptional? I feel my work is exceptional because I'm doing something for someone that I never had done. And I'm looking at it, other people are telling me that your work is so good. Like, why are you not saying that it's good? And for me, yes, it's amazing, it's great, but I'm always striving to do better. And for me, I guess that's what the experience taught me. It taught me that although you feel that you're good at something, that is not where you stop. You need to keep going until the day you have your last breath, really, because
Yeah.
each and every day we're seeing things about ourselves. We examining things about our face. It's changes that you want to enhance and you want to do better. So each time that I did makeup on someone, it gave me the essence to want to do better, because I was not satisfied with mine. And even though they're satisfied, I'm like, surely there's more that I can do to actually make this look even more amazing than you saying it is. And that comes from the essence of making sure that this person is able to hang their photo, making sure that they're able to look back and have a look at the memory that they've created and say, wow, I look so damn good. And that's where the Xceptional came from, the XM Cosmetics, exceptional makeup with abbreviated XM. And that's where it came from. So all the makeup line, or all the makeup that I've brought within this line, it's makeup that is meant to enhance the beauty of every woman without limitation to complexions of any sort. So that's what it is. And it's like, it makes me feel so great, because I'm feeling like I actually have in my possession something that I know that will beautify anybody, to make them look wow. And not only that, it's the skills and the knowledge that I've acquired through my experiences that comes within it as well. So for instance, the lipsticks that I've made, I'm not just looking at the longevity of it, I'm looking at how it complements each and every skin tone. I'm looking at recommending lipsticks for certain individuals. Like, for example, someone will come to me and go, Adjoa, just take a look at my complexion and tell me what
Yeah.
lipstick shade will look good. And I'm looking at you thinking, oh, damn, this will look so good. How did you actually know? And they put it on there like, wow, I actually love this. And I'm like, this brings about a whole level of satisfaction, because the mentality and the mindset that went about creating this has sought its purpose, where it's all about accentuating the beauty, the variety of beauty that we've got in the world that we're in, without any limitation to whether you're dark, fair, you know what I mean? And it's lovely. It's so nice for someone to just say that this is actually amazing, and you're not only making the product, you're actually doing it, and you make me feel beautiful, and it makes me feel beautiful with the experience that I had, that I know that I can never go back. It makes me feel like, oh my God, I've actually given something back. I'm
Yeah.
proud, and I want to do more, for these people to actually believe that they are beautiful and they are worth it, and they deserve every single thing that's out there that is meant to accentuate, is meant to upgrade, if you want to call it, or is meant to bring about their beauty, which you already have. It's meant to enhance it and make it look even better. So that's where I am. And it's just like, oh, each time I have to talk about it, you gotta stop me. You've
No,
gotta
no, no.
stop
I
me.
love the passion behind it, because the way you're explaining it is like there's so much in depth into it. It's not just a brand name. It's actually, there's a story behind it, and that's
That's
what
right. That's right.
to be able to
It's
continue on speaking on it.
and it's just it's beautiful. It's each time I kind of like talk about it, it's almost like I said in the beginning, it's almost like I'm right here living the moment. It
Yeah.
feels so real. It's almost like, right, girl, you getting your makeup, that I can remember the time that I felt so upset. I was like, oh my God, I can't go back and get married again. Like, really? Like, I can't. I want to be able to hang my photo, but I can't. But one thing that I can do is to be able to give it to someone else. And these days, like, people would call and book, and they're like, I want you. If you're not doing my makeup, there's nobody else that's going to do it. If you can't do it, can you at least recommend something that I can recommend for someone else to use on me? And I want to be able to send you the photos. I want you to tell me how I look. I want you to I want you to tell me whether this is done right. And looking back, I'm thinking, wow, is it me? Like, is this really me? That it's like, it's almost like, I don't even know how to put it in words. It's like, wow.
For itself. That's basically what it is.
It's like, I'm like, wow, it's amazing. It's a beautiful feeling, honestly.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
That is
Yeah.
such a powerful story behind it, because not just for me to have the product in my hand and actually try it without you having to be there and just watching your video, I find it, and then now relating with the story that you're telling me, everything kind of makes sense as to why the name is the name it is. And
Yes.
also the fact that you're able to take something that was really a bad experience and then kind of finding a light to it, and also now trying to like help other people not to go through the same experience as you, and then having to work for the past, like, let's say 8 years since you have started, having to even have that credibility and that authenticity in it, that people now will be like, no, if it's not you that is doing it, I don't want it, because you have just kind of cultivated the whole talent behind it and the whole message behind it. And it makes sense why they would rather have exceptional makeup done by you than anybody else, you know?
That's right.
I actually like the fact that everything kind of aligns and makes sense out of it right now.
Yes, yes. And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, girl, there's only one of me. I'm tired. I'm tired. And like, no, like, I'll give you whatever much. And I'm like, oh my God, it's, for me, it's about what I can do in your face and the satisfaction that I see through your eyes and that reflects upon me. And it's almost like, it's almost like each time that I do makeup on someone, I'm living my dream through them, if that makes sense. You know, I'm like, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And even though I'm tired, I'm dragging myself. And I'm like, I've got to stop. I've got to stop because I want to do a good job and I want to make sure that you're looking good. So I'm tired. I need to sit. I need to go to sleep. I'm tired. I'm like, I'll come and wait. I will sit down and wait until you've rested and then you can. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's like, it's so nice. It's such a beautiful feeling.
Find you at the moment, like, if, because I know the whole COVID thing, where can people find your service at the moment, and how?
So at the
go ahead.
Yeah, so at the moment we're still live on our website, xceptionalmakeup.com, and we've got our social platforms. We've got the Instagram, which is still going, and we've got Instagram for both Xceptional Makeup and XM Cosmetics as well. And then we've got Facebook as well, XM Cosmetics and Xceptional Makeup. And I think that's about all we've got. And of course, emails and messenger chats and whatnot. So you can send us a message on all of the platforms. Send me a message actually on all of the platforms, and I do my best to answer as quick as I can. And look, if you need advice or if you need to be led into the right direction, you want to buy a foundation, you're not really sure, you want to buy a lipstick, you don't know whether it'll match you or not, I'm the person to come to, okay? Because I'll make sure that I will make sure that it looks good. And if it doesn't look good, there is no way I'm going to say to you, buy it. Just buy that. No. It's going to look good or nothing. It's going to, and I'm going to be so honest. I'm an honest, I believe I'm an honest person. If it looks damn ugly, I'll tell you that it doesn't look good. I'll be like, girl, let's try this. Let's try this other one, because I know that if it was done for me, I would want someone to be honest with me as well. So I'm honest in all my approaches and recommendations and teachings and everything else, because at the end of the day, like I said earlier, I want someone to go away from our teachings, to go away from what they've learned and be able to do something wonderful for themselves and believe that, yes, I look good. I've learned. Yes, I can express myself in this manner. And yes, I feel great. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's amazing. I actually wish that we met when I first started my journey in modeling, because I went through the same experience where, like, I would be sitting in a makeup artist chair and they don't have my product to my complexion, and then I will end up looking like a holy ghost because of the
my God.
But the fact that now, like, there's you, and then there's a lot of women of color that are doing makeup that for our complexion, I do take pride in that, because now finally we have something that works well with our skin, and something that is not just a matter of a story, but it's a matter of, like, filling in the gap, the market that they haven't been serving for the past, God knows when, a lot of decades. And we appreciate you for having to give us something that we can work with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's very appreciated in the market, and continue doing it, because there is so many sisters out there that would be benefiting with your product, and your product is amazing. I actually right now using one of your product, which is here, the Hot Mama.
Yes, girl, you're rocking it. Look at you go.
Yeah, and then your palette as well for the eyeshadow.
Yes.
So this is a product that you have sent for me a few years ago. I'm still using it until this day.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. This makes me proud. Oh, my heart.
And I was just saying, I had the Envy one. That was actually one of my best ones. The dark purple one.
Yes, that's the deeper purple.
But I'm gonna order a new one.
Oh, the deeper purple is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, that one. Oh.
I went to a lot of red carpet wearing that shade. Everybody was asking, who is it and where did you get it from? And I was like,
nice.
Cosmetic. Yeah, that one, it was just popular everywhere. And every time I wear it, like for red carpet, it stands out because it was so unique, and it was like
Yes.
it just complimented me.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I testify for that product because I used it and I've been using it since for the past 2 years. So yeah.
Oh my God, you making me proud. It's like, it's beautiful. It's honestly beautiful hearing you say that, because
Yeah.
like I said, that the mind that went behind all of this is for the purpose of what you're saying right now, to actually love using it in such a way that you believe, truly believe that it accentuates and you can express your beauty in that way.
Yeah.
And it's not only that, it's you believing in what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Is you believing in the reason behind what I'm doing. And that just, it's, oh, you better not make me start crying. Stop it. I can't ruin my makeup right now.
Don't cry, but
It's beautiful.
it's
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
you're most welcome.
Oh,
And I actually love it to the fact that like, because it's also the fact that it's long lasting, and then when you drink water it doesn't come off on it. And
yes.
I don't like a lot of glossy lipstick. I'm more of a matte finish, but I
Yes.
also want the matte finish to last me the whole day, because I'm always doing videos and I'm always in the red carpet or like doing stuff. So for
Yes.
me to just do like a one coat and two and then go my entire day without having to like kind of constantly putting lipstick on, that is something, that's why I'm like, oh wow, this
Yes.
brand is actually is speaking for what they're saying, you know? And that's amazing work. So
Thank you. Thank you. Means a lot. Thank you so much. Oh.
dab dab. So speaking of continue to giving people lessons, obviously for me being in Canada and you in Australia, how can we get like a one-on-one or teaching lessons? Because I remember earlier you were mentioning something about Zoom lessons and things like that. So
Yes.
can we
Yes.
talk more about it?
So yes. So what I've thought of doing, actually, what I've set a date for the first one, and it's the first ever one, to be able to teach both individually and group lessons on Zoom, via Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of the different time zones and everything else, like for yourself, it'll
Mm-hmm.
be more or less working it out in such a way that it'll be more daytime for you instead of midnight like it is, where it might be later for me here. But that's something that's something that I'm willing to do, because I believe that there's a lot of teachings and a lot of learning that we all need to do. And
Mm-hmm.
especially in these times where we can't go out and do stuff, it's important to try and keep the knowledge going, to try and keep upskilling going. So
Mm-hmm.
this is where I kind of felt like, people would happily come and actually get the one-on-one lessons, or I could organize a group lesson and have it held somewhere, but I can't. But
Mm-hmm.
I can actually do it, and I can do it online, even though we're not physically kind of adjusting and fixing things. If it's through a teaching method, they will have the opportunity to ask questions. I'll be able to see whether what they're doing is right or wrong, and I'll be able to correct it
Cool.
in terms of what beauty is as a set. So, like for instance, someone would do the eyebrows differently; they would do it that way. But for me, I look at it in the eyes of beauty and what is flattering for that individual. I will educate them. I'll give them knowledge. I'll give them resources. I'll give them strategies on how
Mm-hmm.
they can better draw on their eyebrow or shape on their eyebrow to complement their natural beauty. This is where the individualized learning comes in. So,
Mm-hmm.
whereas with the group one, it'll be more or less generalized kind of lessons. The one that I've got upcoming next week, Sunday, it's about foundation, and it's purposely on how to apply foundation flawlessly, what to use, knowledge on the type of skin you have
Mm-hmm.
versus the type of foundation that you use, knowledge on the application of it, what you will actually use to apply it, and everything else that you need to know to ensure that your foundation goes on,
Mm-hmm.
dependent on the type of skin that you have. And I know that a lot of the communications that I've had with people, it goes as in, it's easy to just put on foundation. We can all put on foundations,
Yeah.
but to put on one that actually doesn't either look cakey or doesn't melt off or doesn't kind of appear very nicely, doesn't match your skin, that kind of thing that I
Mm-hmm.
found that a lot of people are lacking. And unfortunately, when you go out to stores to find, to kind of purchase foundations, they don't have the time to be able to sit you down and give you all that. But if
Mm-hmm.
you can get that elsewhere to give you the mindset on how to best choose a foundation for yourself based on your complexion in terms of your undertones, understanding your own skin as say, and understanding the type of skin, whether you've got oily combination, normal skin, what type of foundation you can actually go and ask. for them to give you. So I'm going to be kind of educating around all of that, and I'm actually going to be going to do some practicals as well, where I'll be applying products on myself and explaining as I go along, and it will allow people to ask questions and so forth based on what it is that they've already got for them. So the idea is not to completely change or remove what you've already got in play, unless what you've got in play, I know that it doesn't actually go well with you, which I'll openly and honestly advise you of, but the rest will be entirely up to you. The idea is to learn how to use what you've got better, just so that you can enhance your beauty in a more better way than you would have. So I'm expecting people that come to the class to either want to boost their confidence more on how to apply foundation flawlessly, or people that don't actually know how to apply foundation on their faces at all. So this is meant to be a step-by-step kind of process. And eventually with time, the idea behind it all is not to stop at the foundation, how to apply foundation part, but to kind of move further and possibly go to how to apply your eyeshadows better, how to do wing liners, how to do your eyebrows, how to use primer sprays, how to use just everything that you need to use as an individual on yourself to enhance your makeup game. So that's what the long-term plan is. Hopefully it all goes well, fingers crossed, but I am hopeful that it will, because these are the kind of things that I know that I would want to know more about if I was in their situation. So I'm happy, and I'm looking forward to sharing the knowledge that I've acquired through all these years of experience, and of course doing makeup on my own self, and understanding myself as a dark-skinned woman, and also, as I was saying, and also to be able to kind of share my experience as a dark-skinned woman with someone that either has similar complexion or darker or just a little bit lighter, but still classified as a dark-skinned woman.
Awesome, amazing. Yeah. So these are all like some exciting classes, like you also offering like one-on-one and as a group, and I feel like a lot of people will be benefiting from it. The fact that you're kind of like dividing them into sections, so like in front and an eyebrow, so not consuming everything at once. I believe
no. So the idea is to give people the opportunity to be able to practice what they've learned and absorb the knowledge and actually do it. So if they should, the other thing I didn't mention, after the class, people will be able to kind of ask me questions, whether it's during the class. I know we've all got different learning styles. Some people find it better asking questions within a group. Others find it better when they ask the question not in a group. So I would leave that open for people to be able to communicate with me even after the group, where they have a question specifically related to that lesson that's held. I'll be able to kind of explain and go through any questions with them.
That's fantastic. That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's exciting.
You have a lot of stuff going on, and obviously being a woman entrepreneur, there's so many over the years. You have learned a lot of wisdom so along the way. So what would you say was one of your most memorable moments as CEO of XM Cosmetic? What would you say?
Oh my God. I'll be saying, just do it. Like it's not even like me saying just do it reminds me of Nike, where they say just do it. But truthfully speaking, honestly, sometimes we hold ourselves back because we don't believe that we're good enough for something. But throughout my whole experience, it's always been like, Adjoa, just go for it. Just do it. What have you got to lose? If you do it and it doesn't work out, that doesn't mean you stop there. You try something different and you keep going. So for me, it's almost like I took a step, or I took a leap in believing that I was more than what words could say. I was actually how do I even put it? Believing that I can actually do anything. And sometimes it's easy to say that you can do anything you put your mind to. But this feels surreal. I was like, just do it. It's not just doing it, just sitting down and saying just doing it. It's actually physically doing it, and not stopping at 1, not stopping at 2, or not stopping at 3. Doing it until I felt that it was enough. And so far, I haven't actually felt that where I've come from to where I am now is enough, which is why I said to you, we don't stop here. We can only start and keep moving higher. So this is where I'm at, where I'm eager and I'm willing to experience something new, and I've got a drive to actually say to myself, I'm going to do that. Whether it works out or not, I'm just going to do it. And I don't care what anybody else says. You can say whatever you want, honey. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And it's been like the times that I've said I'm going to do it, even though, you know, sometimes you kind of say you're going to do it, but it's like, oh my God, is this shit actually real? Like, am I actually going to do it? Like, and you start and you're like, I'm actually doing it, and I'm doing it better than I imagined that I could actually do it. And it's nice. It's such a beautiful feeling. So if you believe in something, just go ahead and do it, because what have you got to lose? You've got absolutely nothing to lose. If you do it and it doesn't work out, there's always room to try something different. This world is wide. This world is big. And until you stop breathing, you don't stop doing. You keep doing it until you get to where you need to get, and you start something else and you keep doing that. Life is just like this sometimes, where you just want to experience the best of where you want to go, and the best of what it has to offer, and best of what the best of where you actually want to see yourself. And like, there was one time, it's not just one time, I still have the dream of having Cosmetics stores in different parts of the world. Honestly, I don't even know how many parts, but all I want is to have that store in so many different parts of the world. And I know that I'm going to get there, because that's something that hasn't stopped. Sometimes you have to start little and move up. And sometimes when it's not progressing as fast as you want it to go, you're a bit hesitant. You're like, I don't think this is going to work out. That's the time that you need to keep thriving the most. That's the time that you need to keep moving the most, because that's the time that you're actually closer to it more than you imagine that you are, if that makes sense.
It makes a whole lot of sense. It's all about, you mentioned, it's like a consistency, believing in everything, kind of to drive that motivation, so that way you're able to receive your goal. It's like, yes, once you reach that goal that you wanted to do, let's say for 2 years from now, then what is next? It's like you keeping the momentum. And I love that advice, and the idea that you always have to kind of keep on going, and just like you mentioned, like Nike, just do it. It's a very powerful word.
Thank you, Nike, man. I'm sorry, Nike. I didn't steal that. That's just the gist of it. Or that word is that sentence is so real. It's honestly so real. And you only know that it's so real when you've actually lived that experience. What I mean by that is when you've done it and seen the result that it's given. Honestly, if you look at my makeup, what makeup was like for me doing back then to the makeup that I'm doing now, I'm like, wow. Imagine if I stopped there thinking that I was good enough, thinking that I was better, and not have progressed and learned different ways on doing things. I wouldn't be where I am. And that's what I said earlier on. This is not where it's stopping. I'm going to keep going. If someone sits in my chair, I've got the lipstick going on. If they say, Adjoa, that's enough. I'm like, no, it's not enough. We've got to make sure that we take this bit off and make sure that we tidy that bit up. And I was like, often I have people saying, Adjoa, like, girl, do you ever get tired of being obsessed with this looks? Like, do you ever get tired of being, what is the word they use for me? Not of a conscience, perfectionist. Yeah. Do you ever get tired of being perfection? I'm like, when it comes to makeup, I never get tired of that, because at the end of the day, I want you to live in my chair feeling good. I want you to live in my chair looking at yourself saying, damn, I look good. And not only that, you're going to take photos. I want to make sure that those photos you're able to hang, those photos you're able to show to anybody that you want to show it to, without putting it in drawers like I'm doing my wedding photos, you know? So, yeah.
That's a lot of great insights, and also great motivation behind it, and the story, everything is kind of like connecting the dots and aligning to it. So apart from all the lovely message and the motivation that you're encouraging other individual to kind of continue with the dream, would you say it's something that keep your drive keep going, apart from is it has to do with the family, or is it just more a mindset? What is it?
Well, I've got to say it's you as in you, not you as in you, if that makes sense. Because if I can create something that you can use and I can use, and be sure that, wow, this actually accentuates my beauty, brings out the beauty that I have within, makes me feel so great, boosts my confidence, that I'm going to keep doing it. And it's the mindset thing as well. It's almost like this isn't the point where I want to be stopping. It,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like I want to just keep going because there's products, there's so much that I want the world to see. There's so much about the disappointments that I had when I had an experience of getting my makeup done on my wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much that I want people to realize about themselves. And there's so much that I want to give and I want to do. And this is not where it ends. This is not where it ends at all, if that makes sense.
It makes a whole lot of sense. So another thing that I wanted to also get, because for our young, we have a lot of young viewers here that are watching. Some of them, they want to start their own let's say makeup brand. Some of them, they want to start their own clothing line or whatever their stream of interest that they want to go to. So what would you say it's your take on negative knowledge that they can get out of this conversation today? Like three things that they can get out of this.
The first thing is believe that you are enough. The second thing, believe that you can do anything you put your mind to. Don't let nobody stop you. Don't let anybody tell you anything different otherwise. And the third thing is actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it, do it, do it. Don't ever think that something is not the right way to go about things, because if you don't do it, you wouldn't know. You've got to do it. And if you do it and you fail, if you do it and you fall, you get yourself back up. You remember the idea behind why you even started what you're doing in the first place, and you let that take you far. Surround yourself with positive minded people, people who believe in you as much as you believe in yourself. In saying that, I know there's always going to be people that will drag you down. But honey, when they drag you down, you drag yourself up. Say to them, if you think I can't, I'm going to show you I can. The more you say I can't, the more I know that I can. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to stop until I've done what I need to do. I'm not going to stop until I've satisfied myself. I'm not going to stop until I've given back, until I've created something that's so unique, something that represents a version of me, even if I'm not there. Clothing that you want to create, something that
Mm-hmm.
if you know that somebody else wears it, they will feel just as wonderful as you would feel if you wore it. So believe in everything that you do. And honestly,
Mm-hmm.
when you have that, it doesn't take much for another person to feel, to experience what you experience. It doesn't take long at all.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for that wisdom and negative knowledge. I feel like our young viewers today will be capturing a lot of more the understanding behind the brand, and they will be able to relate to why XN Cosmetic is even named as XN Cosmetic, and the fact that you're able to take in a bad experience and also utilize that experience and then turning it around and providing people with a brand that even me in Canada here would be rocking it.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so
And
just
you're
kind of
rocking
like
it
stand
so
behind
well. Oh, girl. Beautiful.
thank you. And I actually, generally would say that I believe in what you're doing, because it's not just a part of us sitting here and sharing the story, but also something that across mile away from where you are, that I'll be able to share it and kind of wear it, and then also talking to my friends about it. So this is something that I feel like a lot of people who are creating business or creating brand, has to do with the quality that you're bringing behind the brand, but also has to do with the stories and why you do what you do. So for the fact that today you're able to take sometimes out of your business schedule to share with us, so a lot of people will be able to relate to you. And now that they be able to even go whenever they're rocking XN Cosmetic, they'll be like, oh yeah, I know Adjoa, and that's her
Yes.
brand, and that's what she stands for. So thank you so much for taking the time
Thank
to joining
you.
us today. We appreciate you. Feel free to come back anytime if you have any new products you want to discuss about it. We are more than happy to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much. Honestly, it's been an honor to be able to talk to you about my experiences and to be able to share the reason behind what I do. It's honestly, it's sharing it with you actually made me relive it again. And it's such a beautiful feeling knowing that I can
Mhm.
give back to another what it is that I can't go back and get. It honestly is really, really rewarding. I got some products. I wanted to show you some of the products that I've got. I don't have the boxes are somewhere else, but these are what the foundations look like. They are
Okay.
honestly very light on the face, and they cover really, really well. And I've got some mini packages and stuff as well that I'm just creating. So in here, there's about 5 lipsticks, and I've got the gosh, what is it? The lashes as well. I've come up with some lashes as well that just helps put the look and everything together. So there's quite a variety of products that I've got on my website that you can have a look. And yeah, look, if you've got any questions, if you've got any queries, please don't be afraid, honestly, to just message me and let me know. I'm a people person. I will talk, I will engage, I will interact. So if you've got, honestly, even if it's not makeup related, you're like, Adjoa, honestly, I've heard your experience. I've heard where you've come from to where you are now. I just want to have a chat to you. No sweat. Honestly, I'm just chat. I'm up. I'm up for the chat. I'm up for anything. So yeah, thank you so much.
And I'll make sure to drop all your contact, your social media, your website. I'll be posting in the description below so people can feel free to go visit her on her website. So it's xmmakeup.com, right?
Xceptionalmakeup.com.
Makeup.com, as well as your Instagram for XM Cosmetics. I'll be linking all of that in the description below so you guys could feel free to join her. And also, as she said, she's going to discuss on Facebook. So feel free to DM her or inbox her. She's more like, that's actually how I actually got to even speak with her, because I seen your makeup post through a friend, Flora, and that's why I was able to even discover your brand through her. So shout out to Flora for sharing your post and
Flora.
getting yeah. And another thing that I also want to mention, there's something so unique about how you name your lipsticks. So can you walk us through that before I want to end it? I just find it so hilarious and interesting.
You know what? So the lipsticks is 15 shades now, and it's the names. Oh my god, the names! I was like, if I wore this lipstick, how would it actually make me feel? Like that's one of the ways that I went about naming them, and the other way is like, I want to be feeling this way. Or what would the commentary be if I wore something like this, and how would I actually feel about that? So that's where it came from. So with the Rusted Diva, I forgot to mention, some of them actually came from what the color that I selected and what it looks like. So for instance, the deeper maroon, the rusty rose, it's rusty, it's very deep, and it's raw, but it's deep at the same time, and it's nice. It's something so deep that complements. And then you've got the Sweet Lips, which is the strawberry, the strawberry berry kind of thing, and it's got the flavors with them. By the way, all the lipsticks have flavors.
The scent and the flavor is very noticeable in this product.
So the Sweet Lips, it's sweet. The flavor is also sweet, and strawberries mostly are sweet. And I sort of like, let me just put this on. It actually makes me feel sweet. It makes me feel fresh. It makes me feel healthy. It makes me feel alive. So I need to name the Sweet Lips. This just matches it. And the milk chocolate that I've got on, it looks like milk chocolate. I made it smell like milk chocolate. And I'm like, it actually reflects and blends in so well with a lot of complexions, deeper skin complexions, that it looks like you've got absolutely nothing. It looks like you've just got plain lip gloss on, but it makes your lip look very nice and very beautiful and very milky. And chocolate is something you would want to eat, something that's very nice and sweet, if that makes sense.
Yes, it makes a whole lot of sense now that you're explaining it. Because I even have here one of them. It says Diva's Jacket. What is that?
Diva's Jacket. And that one, it's like, I came up with that name believing that, sometimes you dress in such a way that makes you feel wow, makes you feel outstanding, makes you feel all the way up there. You've got your clothing game on, you've got the shoe game on, you've got the earrings and jewelry on. All you need is a lipstick to complement their statements. That makes you into a diva. If you've got all of that set going on, you are a diva in your own right. And with that lipstick on, is a statement. It's sort of like, hey, I'm right here and I'm rocking it from head to toe.
Thank you so much. It was been a pleasure to have you here. And I feel like we have learned so much from you, and continue to give us a lot of amazing products. And until then, I will be more than happy to have you back here. Once again, guys, this is your CEO, the one and only from Australia, for XM Cosmetic, and we out. But I
Thank
wanted
you.
to shout out. And for those who want to purchase her product, you can go to XceptionalMakeupandBeauty.com, and I will be posting all the link in the description below. So feel free to go purchase yours, because I am going to get my Envy lips right now. And also don't forget to also check out her Zoom lessons that she'll be teaching. She's starting on Sunday, which is, I believe, next week Sunday, right?
Yes, correct.
So next week Sunday she'll be doing Zoom lessons for foundations, eyebrow. So if you want to learn more about how you can apply your own makeup, that will be a great resource to go join in there. You can be from anywhere in the world to join her lessons. And since we're all in quarantine, you have no excuse not to join.
No excuse. You just come learn how to make yourself look good. And once quarantine is done, boom, you be set. You will be set.
Amazing. And thank you so much for taking the time of the day to join us today. I've more than work. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've enjoyed every single bit of it. Thank you so very much for giving me this opportunity. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye, guys. Have a lovely night.